Hi, club committee members. Welcome back to another year in VU Clubs. In this session, we want to refresh your knowledge on how to effectively manage your club through helping you understand what is expected of you when volunteering in a committee position. We hope you have a wonderful experience as a committee member in the VU Clubs program. By joining the club committee, you're not just helping to run a club, but you're building a community. You have the power to shape experiences, create connections, and make a lasting impact on campus life. This is your chance to lead with purpose, grow new skills, and bring people together around you. Every event you plan, every conversation you spark, and every challenge you face will help shape the culture of your club and leave a legacy others can build on. So we hope you step in with passion, lead with your heart, and enjoy the journey with us this year. Training refresh. We will remind committee members about club governance and committee responsibilities, funding and the most common mistakes to avoid, events and a risk management refresh, communication and branding refresh, information about managing conflict, letting you know about some stuff that's new, and then some final reminders. Let me remind you of the legal structure of student clubs and how they sit within the university. VU clubs are unincorporated not-for-profit organisations that do not hold any charitable status. While the Student Committee plans events and activities, Victoria University has oversight of club policies and procedures, the use of the club's funding, approval of the events, and oversees the risk management and safety of those events and other club activities. There are some simple things to do to ensure your club remains affiliated to the university. Affiliated student groups must adopt and comply with the student group's constitution, be led by VU students and must not be run by or unduly influenced by non-VU students and/or external organisations. Students must comply with the policies and associated procedures outlined in the student group's leadership and representation policy and procedure. And students must conduct themselves in a manner that does not bring VU into disrepute. If there was a breach of any of these conditions, then the VU Clubs program may consider disaffiliating your club from the university. Examples of common breaches may be when a VU club partners with an external organisation or sponsor without approval, where this might create a reputational risk. They could host events that are unsafe, poorly managed, or breach laws or university policies. They might post offensive, misleading, or inappropriate content on social media while representing the club or VU. And lastly, they might misuse or misappropriation of club or SAF funds. If a breach occurs, the club's officer will meet with the executive members to seek their response in relation to the alleged breach. And depending on the nature or severity of the breach and the response from the members, the club's officer may give the affiliated student group a warning, coach the affiliated student group or mandate training to ensure remediation and compliance, or recommend to the manager of student life and leadership that the affiliated student group be disaffiliated. To ensure your club continues its affiliation, you must complete your AGM and re-affiliation tasks by the prescribed time periods. This year, we will only accept new applications for a club in period 1 of semester and then again in a period of semester 2. If your club re-affiliates at the end of 2025, you will be required to meet the deadline of the 30th of October in 2026. Throughout the year, the club must meet the minimum activity requirements. Activities must be registered, risk assessed, and approved. Each year, committee members must complete the compulsory training and follow the information outlined in various guidelines and resources available. These resources can be found in the club's Google resource folder, such as the VU Student Clubs Guide and the Event Toolkit. Clubs must keep the compulsory roles filled during the club's term. Vacant executive roles must not remain empty longer than 6 weeks. If a vacancy does occur, then the club must notify the club's officer of this vacancy. They should then hold a special general meeting to fill the committee position, and that new committee member must complete all of the committee tasks, such as filling in the student group committee registration form and signing their acceptance of the student group's constitution. Here's a reminder of what the committee tasks are and what each person should be working on. The President will provide leadership to the committee and represent the club to others, and ensure that the club is meeting all its obligations under the student group constitution and other policies. The Secretary will organise meetings, keep record of meeting minutes, and send out invitations or other relevant information to the club members. The Secretary also stands in place of the President when the President is not available. The Treasurer will keep a record of all of the finances up to date and provide the club audit. All roles should be involved in the planning and organising and delivery of member events. It's okay if not all committee members can attend each event, but at least one committee member should be present. Here's what experienced committee members should do better. You should delegate tasks early to avoid burnout by sharing workload, plan the year's calendar in semester 1, and document processes for next year's committee. Strong committees will meet regularly, even if they're short meetings, keep shared records in their G Drive, and communicate clearly with members about what's happening within the club. Now we'll go over funding and not-for-profit status. VU clubs receive affiliation funding through the university and may also collect funds from membership payments, sponsorships, ticket sales, merchandise sales, and other things like that. Because the club is a not-for-profit organisation, all money raised or received must be used to support club activities. Funds can be used for things like club supplies and operational costs and events and activities. But money cannot be paid to individual members as a profit, wage, or rewards. So some key reminders about funding is that all funds must go through the approved club bank account. You should keep every receipt, and any unspent or incorrectly used funds must be returned. Audits do happen, and good record keeping does save stress. Let's do a refresh on event and risk management. Planning and delivering member events are key to the success of your club. The process for event approval remains largely the same, whereby clubs must register the event, complete the risk assessment, and have a participant registration platform set up. Some new information you need to know about the activity registration process is that timelines of registration have increased. The minimum number of days required to register your event is now 20 days. Our new form includes a section to record ongoing events. And the risk assessment is now part of the Google registration form. After your event, you are still required to provide a post-activity report, and this needs to be submitted before your next event can be approved. Attendance data should be retained. In your feedback, you need to provide the record of participants who came to your activity. Funding acquittal should be completed. You may be asked to provide evidence of your funding expenditure to ensure you keep your financial record up to date, showing each event's income and expenses. Now we're going to cover communication and branding. What you must always do is use the club's official email account when communicating with members and other bodies, include the VU and SAF logos on your materials, and get approval before publishing branded materials. A reminder about privacy is to always use the BCC function for mass emails and ensure that your membership list must not be shared externally. Now we're going to cover some stuff around resolving conflict. So we're only human, and sometimes conflicts or disputes in your student group might occur. In this section, we will discuss how you can manage these conflicts and resolve them using the appropriate processes. Before taking formal action against a committee member, the committee should first try to resolve the situation constructively. This might include having a private, respectful conversation with the committee member to check in, clarify expectations, and understand any challenges they may be facing. Revisit the role description and responsibilities with them to ensure the expectations are clear and mutually understood. Offer support and adjustments, such as redistributing tasks, setting more realistic deadlines, or temporarily reducing responsibilities if appropriate. You should encourage open communication, reminding the committee member of the importance of keeping the team informed if they are unable to complete tasks or other things are going on. You should document the discussion and agreed actions so that there is a shared understanding moving forward. Only if these steps have been taken and the behaviour continues should the committee consider further actions in line with the club's constitution or university guidelines. If you ever witness inappropriate behaviour or experience behaviour that has made you feel uncomfortable, you can make an anonymous report via the VU website. Navigate to VU Safety and Respect. Here you will find examples of threatening behaviour and what to do if you or someone you know experiences any of these. Anonymous reports can be made via the website. You can also reach out to VU Security, VU Wellbeing, and the VU Clubs team. We all need to be reminded that as student leaders on a committee or a member of a group, you must always exercise professionalism and behave as you would in a workplace. If your actions wouldn't be accepted in a workplace, then they wouldn't be accepted as a university student either. The university space extends beyond the campus. It is in online discussions with staff or students, and it is in the community if you are representing yourself as a VU student in a club or otherwise. You can be reminded of the expectations of our and other professional conduct via the club's membership form, member agreement, pictured here. Other relevant policies are the student conduct policy and student charter, bullying prevention and management policies, discrimination and harassment prevention and management policy, and the students' complaints policy. More information about these policies can be found on the VU website. We want to go over some new compulsory training requirements. As student leaders, you may be more likely to receive a disclosure of harassment or bullying or violence. It is important that you are educated about these topics and how to respond to someone who confides in you and where to direct them for help and support. The Respect and Responsibility training is compulsory for all students who have an active role in a club committee. This training needs to be completed prior to your club hosting events and activities for the year. Please refer to the committee onboarding email we have sent you for affiliation this year. VU has several support services that students can access if they have experienced harassment, bullying, or violence. The first points of contact would be our Safer Community program and/or our wellbeing services. Further training created by the VU Equality, Inclusion and Belonging Department will support your club to ensure it has an understanding of diversity, inclusion and how to contribute to a more equitable and accessible world. This training must also be completed by your full committee prior to your club hosting events and activities. See your onboarding email to access the training link. We have a new AGM and reaffiliation deadline. AGM and reaffiliation deadline will now be the 30th of October, where it was previously the 1st of December. This earlier deadline allows clubs to hold their AGM and elect the incoming committee at a more convenient time, such as September or October, avoiding clashes with end-of-year assessments and graduation. The current club's term will end on the 1st of December. The outgoing and incoming committees will have additional time to work together on the club handover and reaffiliation processes with this earlier AGM deadline. The club's program will still close on the 1st of December, allowing the club's team time to prepare for the next year. The newly elected committee will formally commence their role in January. We are excited this year to offer some special skills-based training in conflict resolution, social media and branding, leadership skills and motivating others, and event quality over quantity, how to engage your members and provide a memorable club experience. Keep a lookout for more information about these courses throughout the year. That brings us to the end of the Club Committee Refresh training. If you need further information from us, the club's team, we are your first point of contact for anything to do with events, funding, bank accounts, compliance questions. Remember to ask us early, as problems are easier to fix before deadlines. We also have a new office location. We are now located at Footscray Park in Building D up on level 6 in room D600. When you come up to level 6 and come out of the lifts, just follow the student life signs, which will direct you to our new office location. This is where the new lockers will also be located, and once we have further information about locker distribution, we will let you know. You can always contact us via our email at clubs@vu.edu.au. Thanks for taking the time and completing this training refresh, and you can now go ahead and answer some questions in the quiz.